Today I'm at Broadway at the beach, specifically at Dino Park, and I will be introducing you to some of my favorite dinosaurs, and hopefully some of yours. If you're a fan of Blue, then you probably guessed that this is my favorite dinosaur, Velociraptor. Even though the size of a turkey, don't let their size fool you. They're as smart as they are vicious. Even though Blue hangs out with Owen a lot, real velociraptors stick with their own pack or gang, but this has no ties to the mafia to anyone's knowledge. Over on your right, a Carnotaurus. Even though the very first dinosaurs were discovered in Europe, but the oldest species were actually discovered in Argentina. But in Carnotaurus's case, here you thought the regular bull was bad enough. And here's our third dinosaur on the tour, Dilophosaurus. Although descended from its forerunners from the late Triassic, but it is actually an ancestor of future theropods like Allosaurus and T-Rex. And here we have Allosaurus, the lion of the Jurassic. Nowadays, Allosaurus isn't that popular compared to other predators like Velociraptor or T-Rex, but if Jurassic Park was period accurate, think about what carnage it would bring upon park guests. Omesaurus is a kind of sauropod, the largest group of dinosaurs that ever lived during the late Jurassic. And as they get big, they have no natural predators. But when they pass the torch to future herbivores, life will never again be this big. If you thought the dinosaurs were evolution's winners during the Mesozoic era, think again, because during the late Triassic, dinosaurs were still comparatively rare, but they had to put up with old school reptiles struggling to survive, and Postosuchus is one of them. But ironically, they evolved from the same reptilian ancestry, but unlike the dinosaurs, it is too front heavy to run on two legs, but Postosuchus has enough stamina to keep pace with its prey. But unfortunately, when the dinosaurs started to call the shots, it outlived its usefulness. And here we have Maiasaura. And this dinosaur belongs to the Hadrosaur family, the most common group of dinosaurs during the late Cretaceous. Unlike Omesaurus, that uses stones and chemicals to digest their food, Hadrosaurs have a more direct method. The front of its muzzle is toothless and rigid to shred through the vegetation, and when chewing, a battery of hundreds of tightly packed teeth help grind the vegetation to a pulp. Ceratopsians come in two different genuses, Chasmosaurine and Centrosaurine. Triceratops is an example of a Chasmosaurine, and it earned the name due to its distinctive horns. Now, remember when I mentioned Centrosaurines? Pachyrhinosaurus belongs to that genus, and like most dinosaurs, Ceratopsians like them earned their names because of one trademark feature, their horns and frills. If you thought all this was for defense against predators, that hypothesis was full of holes. Virtually, these traits are used for first and foremost is to recognize members of the same species and to compete for mate. Speaking of headgear, this dinosaur is called Pachycephalosaurus. And just like Triceratops and Pachyrhinosaurus, Pachycephalosaurus has the same ancestry because they belong to a group of dinosaurs called Marginocephalians. Their skulls are built like battering rams, and their spines are specialized to withstand the jolt. And here we have a Monolophosaurus. Despite appearances, it's not a relative of Dilophosaurus. In fact, it's an early relative of Tyrannosaurus rex. And like Triceratops, Tyrannosaur ancestries have migrated from Asia. The extraordinary Ankylosaurus. One of the most heavily armored animals of all time. This creature's body is overhauled with bone and armored muscle, which makes it weigh up to 7 tons. I mean, look, even its eyelids have armor. And if that's not enough, it has a formidable club on the end of its tail. But sadly, this magnificent creature didn't have any defense against the natural forces that suffocated its world. The best on the tour, I say for last. Tyrannosaurus Rex. A 9-ton, 40-meter-long theropod specifically evolved to kill the largest of dinosaurs. Some studies say it was a scavenger. Other studies say it was a predator. But despite its tiny arms, T-Rex relied on that huge bone-crushing head to do the killing. The limbs had to be shortened up, enabling it to have great savings in weight at the front end of the body. And that makes T-Rex the undisputed king of predators to ever terrorize the American West. Well, I gotta say, after that, I decided not to endorse this park. Nah, just kidding, it was awesome. Anyway, I will see you all next time.